So in this lecture we are going to understand the final keyword. The way we have said that abstract and static, which are very important keywords, we also have very important keyword to be understood called as a final keyword. And what we are going to do with a final keyword, say for the instance you are having a car and then you want to declare that your car is going to be final in type. So what we are defining over here is that your class car, which is final, which means that you will not be able to extend the car. Let's try to see that. So let's say you are having another class which is supercar. I'm sorry, that's a spelling mistake. So let's say you are going to create a car which is a supercar. So I'll just go ahead and go and create a new car which is supercar, and then in the supercar I'm going to extend car, right? And then let's see what happens. So this will say that, oh sorry, I cannot allow you to extend the car because your car is final in nature, which also means that you will not be able to inherit any of the functionalities with the car. The question is why will you do that? You will be doing that because you don't want the functionality of drive method to be changed. How? Let's say your superclass is going to extend the car, then it is possible that you can override this drive method and you can just say that this is not the functionality I want these functionalities, but you'll say that is no, this is this class, everything whatever I have defined into the car is not supposed to be extended. I don't want people to change that functionalities, and at that time you are going to create your class to be final in nature. There is one more thing which we need to understand, and that's something whereby you declare your variables to be final, and that's where the constants comes into the picture. So whenever you declare your variable to be final, you'll just say that, hey, my number of wheels are going to be the final number 4, and then none of the method would be able to change the value of those variables. So if you try to see over here and then just say that my number of wheels, which is equal to 6, and then here the compiler will come in to say that, oh, you cannot assign a value to the final variable. Whatever which is assigned is final, it's a constant value. So if you have a class which is declared as a final, you cannot extend it. If you have a variable which is declared as final, you cannot change the value of that variable. You can also declare a method to be final. Say for the instance you have a method over here and then you are declaring a method to be final. So your drive method is final, but then to prove that, let me just remove this car to be final. So which means that let me try to create a super class and then try to override the method. So I'll just say that override public void drive. Basically what we are doing, we are trying to override a method which is final in nature. So when you will go to the super class and then this will tell you that is, hey, the drive method is defined as a final method, so it's a final in nature. You are not supposed to change the functionality of that method. It's a final method, you cannot override that. So if you want your whole class functionality is not to be changed, go ahead and declare that class as final. If you want one of the method not to be changed by the subclasses, go ahead and declare that method as a final. So final method cannot be overridden, final variables value cannot be changed, and final class cannot be extended. That's where final comes into pictures. You can apply final keyword against class, against variable, and against method.